I needed that. Now back to the action.
So the second semi-final, the B semi-final for buggies, is about to get underway. Renault Savoia, the Franco-Australian on the Mugen Sekai with the RB engine, gets away and does the best thing, is get away from the pack behind him where there could be potential problems. Mike Truex, the American, in second. Atsushi Hara, well-known name here on RC Racing, in third position. So it's as you were from the start. Already though, fourth place Lee Martin having a little look up the inside, and look how tight it is for the minor positions. Remember, you may be getting bored of me saying this, but it's the top 15 times from the combined selection of the first and the second semi-final. So in theory you could have all 15 from one semi-final. It doesn't normally happen like that, but it was a pretty quick first semi-final. So these guys, particularly the guys in the midfield, interestingly, are going to be the guys pushing hard to try and get into the semi, as we have a little bit of a touch there. That was for second and third position. As at the moment, Renault Savoia is pulling away from the battle for second place. And again, remember, all very well overtaking people, but what you want to do in this early part of the race is just, well, you don't want to be doing that, in fact. That's exactly what you don't want to be doing, banging wheels here. And in that schmozzle there, it's, I think that's Lee Martin. Yes, Lee Martin's gone through into second place ahead of Hara and Truex, as he's now claimed second position, has Lee. Thank you very much. And he can, I was just about to say, he can now make it to the advantage of the clear track ahead of him, and he gives up the position. In fact, I think he's dropped down behind another one of the buggies there. Was that Ryan Mayfield going through there? I'm not sure, but certainly that's dropped Lee down at least a couple or three places. So Atsushi Hara reclaimed second position with Mike Truex in third, the Hot Bodies and Losi drivers respectively. Oh goodness me, look at this battling. Really, guys, I understand, don't get me wrong, we like to see racing. I really do understand what they're doing here, but what they are also doing is slowing themselves down. Now, okay, they're in second and third. You would expect them to be among the 15 quickest times from the two semi-finals, but I still want a bit of the barrier knocked out there, just onto the racing surface. That might be a problem later on. I just think that it would be a lot more sensible for the top 5 or 6 drivers to basically come to a bit of an agreement and say, guys, we're going to hammer off into the distance and try and get into the semis, get into the final rather, and then worry about battling for position. As you see, there's a mistake. Oh, dear me. And again, that is all, doesn't matter about the position. The position, all right, what are you going to do? Brag that you came third in your semi-final or fourth in your semi-final? Well, it doesn't matter, because it's only the final result that matters, and that is going to be decided on time. And you can see these guys are making just too many mistakes at the moment. And what I can tell you is that first semi-final, we've looked at the average lap times, and they were pretty good. The winner, Yannick Algon, with an average lap time of 39.52 and a fastest lap of 37.71. And these guys at the moment are going to be struggling to get anywhere near that. It's the overall time that counts. And I've got a feeling there's going to be some big names in this semi towards the middle and the bottom end who are not going to get a sniff of a final place unless this semi-final picks up pace considerably. Now there is the second place driver, the American Mike Truex. He is being chased, and you just got a glimpse of the Hot Bodies there in third, the Hot Bodies OS engined Atsushi Hara, world champion, and there's the mistake. And he couldn't get it back on the car. You've got to feel from there, and then there's another mistake. Oh, you've got to worry about the steering mechanism there for Mike Truex. He's taking a bit of a hammer there as Atsushi Hara. He's back up into second place, but more importantly, and I know I'm banging on about this, but more importantly, he can now dictate his own pace and just set about getting the lap times consistent and making sure that he reaches the big show. He's got to get into the final. And this is the kind of form that we expect to see from Atsushi Hara. a distinctively coloured hot bodies machine that we have come to know and love here on RC Racing. One of the most popular drivers on the circuit, real superstar of this form of racing, and when you see the kind of control he's putting out at the moment, you can see why. And there is another man we haven't seen very much of coming into his pit stop. This is Renault Savoia on the Mugen Sekai, the Franco-Australian driver. That's a great pit stop. Back out on the track, hardly without taking the car from the pit lane. But there's a new leader, Atsushi Hara, who still needs to make the pit stop. He also won. And just as in full-size racing then, this could come down to the in-lap and the out-lap. And as you see there, Hara has had a bit of traffic, so he's going to have to be super quick in and out of the pit ramp. He's looking good here. Not sure he was really close enough to Renault to... Oh, love that shot. Look at the height of these buggies. Not sure he's close to Savoia to actually take this on the pit stop. Here he comes, and he's picked... Oh, there's Andy Moore doing the refill there, and I've got to say that didn't look as quick, and a little bit of a mistake there. And has the leader gone through? Yes, he has. Renault Savoia back in the lead. Andy Moore perhaps not as quick on the refill as he would be on the sticks, but that has put Atsushi Hara back in the race in second position. Almost an incident there for our leader, having to avoid a rolling buggy. But that's been really about the most of the worries for Renault Savoia. Got a bit of pressure in the middle part of the race, just coming up towards the pit stop time when Atsushi Hara took the lead, was close enough to take the lead after the pit stop, but only for a lap or so. In fairness, I think as we're looking at the closing stages now, the Mugen Sekai boys just doing a little bit better job in the pits. Not by much, but it was enough to mean that the pressure was eased on Renault, and he has gone about his business very well as he'll come through this time to start the final lap of this B semi buggy in the Neo 2010s. Now it's going to be all about the clock. Yannick Alguon won the first semi-final in a time of 20 minutes, 22.05 seconds, and we're not going to be anywhere near that for the 31 laps. And this is going to be a lot slower, and this is going to mean problems for people further down the field. Savoia will qualify. Time ticking away though, and he's already beyond the time of that first semi-victory as he comes through to take the checkered flag. So let's confirm then the B semi buggy results. Savoia, Hara, True, Mayfield and Lee Martin the top 5. Simon Willits up from 13th to 6th. Who makes the final? Well, it's down to the stopwatch to determine that, but I would think that Shin Adachi and Craig Drescher are both right on the bubble.
Well, world champion Atsushi Hara is a familiar face at this event. Let's take a look at his buggy.
Ever since Hot Bodies brought the D8 buggy to the market, rallycross racing hit the next level. Taking the latest elements of today's fastest competition-level buggies and combining them with the freshest ideas and racing designs, the D8 brought fresh innovations to reach new heights in performance and strength. The D8 was built by longtime racer and HB off-road designer Josh Alton. Josh designed the D8 to win, yet he was also aware the D8 needed to work well in real-life racing situations.
What I don't like to do is I don't like to clean my car. So I don't like to having to take out, say, 10 screws to remove a radio tray or to remove an engine to hose off my car and get it cleaned up. So basically maintenance and just easy assembly, that's the big thing for me.
Here at the Neo 2010, British driver Graham Allsop has found the quality Hot Bodies components have stood him in good stead.
We've been hearing people saying they've been having some problems with steering servos and that sort of thing. How have you managed to counteract the damage the track can do to the electrics?
Well, basically, for touchwood, I haven't had any servo issues. I'm running the Hot Bodies servo, which so far seems to be reliable.
Team Hot Bodies celebrated the D8's release by winning their first ever IFMOR Rallycross World Championship in the USA. As the current world champion Atsushi prepares for this year's Worlds, he knows this will be his toughest test yet.
The Thailand, the world track is like very tough for survival for 1 hour, especially for final 1 hour. So we a lot of testing for make tough the cars, engines, radio, cars, tires, everything.
So why not make your next RC purchase a world champion? Get the Hot Bodies D8 and you'll get the world's best support, tips, tutorials, and news from a world champion team on HPI TV.
Well, while Sean's in there doing all the work, I'm putting my feet up, and so should you, because coming up after the break, it's a main event.